All right, it's mom time again. Connor wants one. Y'all all heard in his video. He wants one too. So I went to Hobby Lobby this morning and got some more letters. That was the only thing I was really short on, and they did have some white ribbon today. They were out of white the other day, so everything, the only white in Cadence is this that says Splendor Wildcats. I wanted it to be a little bit brighter, but I didn't have it, and so now I've got this. If I'm gonna tell Steph later that if Caden wants to come over, I can add a little bit of white to his, but I will for sure get a little bit of white in Connor's today since they have some white ribbon. So I needed letters. I thought I got two of these. Oh, I did. It's right here. So I got letters that are in red so they can go on the white. I've got black that can go on red or white to spell out Connor, and then Homecoming 2022. And then here is, and this is, I didn't show y'all this the other day on Cadence. I did it on Cadence, I just didn't show it. But when you put now this mum is a little smaller. Caden has a big mum. This is the middle size. There was some small ones, and then this is middle. And when you put it on here, you can't see the white backer at all, which is pretty good. But from the side, if anybody was standing taller than him, or I just didn't want them to look down. If you use white mum on these, then it doesn't matter, because white on white on white, you're not going to be able to see. But on these, I didn't want any, even though I'm going to do the red and the black around the outside like I did on Cadence, the little triangles, I didn't want any white to show through when I get this on. So I made a real big with my black marker. And now when I glue everything on, now I will go around the edge a little bit and get some of the white, because even in, I think, well, I thought, yeah, you can see it. There's a little bit of white still showing right around the edge, and when I can even see it on camera. So I will get that taken care of. Anyway, I got him a garter. I'm gonna have to make it a little bit smaller for his arm, and because I don't know how tight, and his arm is little, so I'm just gonna bring it in a little bit and glue it really good. If I have to cut it, I will, and then bring it in and glue it. I'm not going to do any sewing. I don't feel like sewing. I don't even have a sewing machine anymore. I gave my sewing machine to Lou. The one I could work really well because I had sort of raised on it, knew all about it. My mama's mom, showed me how to sew. It was her sewing machine. She taught me how to sew. And after the fire, things, I guess, because it was in the back porch, the laundry area of the back porch, and that didn't burn, but it was really full of smoke, and I guess that soot and stuff, no, sewing machine never worked good after the fire. So I bought one right after I got this house and was like doing curtains and stuff for the rooms, or was planning to. And I could not get the hang of using that new sewing machine. So I just like, whatever. I gave it to Lou. And I think she used it 2 or 3 times and then stuck it in the closet. So she doesn't even use it anymore either. But I used to make the blankets for kids' rooms, for their beds. I would take like fabric, it comes 3 foot, usually it's a 3-foot bolt. And if it was made in a way I could add to it so you couldn't tell that there was a big seam, then I would do that. But then I would take a different, usually like a oh my gosh, a flannel, like flannel shirt. So I'd get a flannel material and do it on the back side, and then I would seam all the way around it, and then I would put that little binding stuff all the way around it and sew that on so there wouldn't be any, you couldn't see the 2 pieces sewed together. I did that for all of the kids when they were younger. Jake, I don't know if I ever made Ellie one. I know I made Jake one. I made Bree, Buddy, Tony, Levi, Connor. I made him one when he was a baby. I don't think I ever made Ellie one. I can't remember anybody else's because then the fire came and I never used my sewing machine again. And something is in my eye. Anyway, I'm gonna get started on Connor's, and I may not do this garter thing until he gets home from school and I can see just how big it is, as big it is compared to his arm. But I'm gonna get started and I'll show y'all a little as I get going, a few steps in case anybody wants to see a little bit more of mum making. All right, see you in a second. So I got Connor on this white right here. And now I'm getting Homecoming in the smaller ribbon. I tried to put it with the red letters on the big ribbon, but because it has to be small enough for his arm not to dangle too far off of his, you know, if he's holding it here, you don't want it dangling way down, just down by his elbow sort of. And Homecoming would not fit on that length of ribbon, so I'm having to do it in smaller letters on a smaller scale. But this will allow me to get the whole word Homecoming plus 2022 on the whole thing. Small letters are a lot harder to work with. Ugh. See what I mean? Crooked. Crooked, crooked. There. Is this on? Yeah, it's on. I'm gonna need another glue stick. Give me 1 second. I forgot about these. I'm putting one of these on the bottom of his Connor. Small one. I'm going to figure out a 2022 because these little numbers don't have enough twos. Look at these little paw prints. I'm going to put it on the bottom of Connor. Cool. Love it, love it, love it. Just take it like this and then bring them together like this, and I make a point up here. Y'all see that? I make a point with it. And then I hold it like that and then glue it together, and I'll just do a bunch of these until I can go all the way around that. Doesn't take much glue to hold it. Y'all see I'm using a glue gun somebody sent me. Oh. That's all it takes. And then I'll make a bunch of them to go all the way around this, like this. Put Homecoming right up here. Whew, sticking through. I'll give it a hold it for a second. It's hot. Coming through. Right at the top. You see all the way around the colors. Alright. There's Homecoming, and I think we'll go ahead and do, I was going to put the ball, but I'm just going to put the paw like I did. I think Connor, Caden said something. We're just going to put a paw on Connor's right there. And then there's that part of it. Now we're going to start on the streamers. I'm going to set this off to the side, let it dry. What, baby? I need to cut me a little thin ribbon. Where's my thin stuff? My really thin. I had some real thin black somewhere. a little hanger on the back so I can start working with it. Where's another? I'm going to take another background and just glue this little hanger part right here. And let that set for a minute and let that get dry. Can y'all hear me? I don't know if I'm talking loud enough. I'm going to let this get dry for 1 second. This will allow me to hang it. And this will hang, and then I'll start adding the ribbons at the bottom, and then later this will glue to it. So give me a little second here. So y'all can see I've got started with just 2 reds at the bottom, and I'm fixing to put 1 down the center. Okay, now you can see that I've overlapped the silver in front of the red. And I'll just keep adding and adding and adding the ribbons. Some of it with nothing on it, some of it with the words on it, some streamers with things dangling from the bottom. And slowly I'll build it to what I think Connor will like. All right, give me a minute. There it is, Connor's. So I got Splendor Wildcats coming down that side. Got Homecoming right here. I didn't have a 2022 in little letters. I didn't have a 2022 in red either. But look at that top 2. Can y'all tell it's a little different? That's a 7 and a 3. I had to make it look like a 2 the best I could. I think it came out pretty good. I had a 2 up here already, and I thought, well, if those 2 at the bottom look different, then you'll be really able to tell. So I used it at the top and put the 2 that are exactly the same at the bottom. So it split them up and you can't tell so much. I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway, I got him a couple little bells, an offense and a defense, the touchdown hanging from the braided one. I think it looks really good. I'm going to tell Caden that I have these over here if he wants one on his. And I don't have the back on it yet with the garter, because I'm going to do that when Connor comes. Look at all this glue. I'm going to do that when Connor comes over this evening to get it. So I think it looks good. This is what I picked up today. It says, "Are you ready for some football?" And then that red one is back behind it. But I think it's pretty full and it's spaced out pretty good. A little bit of white in it, more than there was in Caden's, because I was able to find that white ribbon. But I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. All right, guys. If y'all ever want to make one, this was more of a step-by-step than the other one was. You just keep adding the ribbon until you're happy with the way it looks. And I'm happy with this one. All right, love you guys. Oh, Levi says bye. Wave at it. What are you doing in that chair? Look how you're sitting. You look like you're dead. Well, you look like it. All right, bye guys. He's here and he got his mom. There it is. You've already bent your letter somehow doing something. Hold your arm up like this. There it is. It looks good on you. What do you think? Do you like it or not?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Dadgum, what are you doing?
What else? What else am I supposed to do?
You're just going to wear it down the hallways into school and in the classroom like a normal person. Although it's going backwards and it needs to be more on the front of your arm.
So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna do this.
Here he's got it. Do you have to swing them so hard?
Maybe like this.
Levi.